These women perform dark. They perform left-handed or magic of the dark arts. So you can consider these types of magic like sex magic, blood magic, magic to control someone, magic the magic of seduction and persuasion, you know, that sort of thing. And because there's water flowing behind the devil, you know that these women are intuitives. They have spiritualists or psychics that they work with, and then because there's fire on top of that water, this lets me know that these women themselves come from a bloodline of powerful magicians, because they have a natural fiery spirit within them. The devil card here is saying that by dealing with these women, the men they end up representing blockages in the men's lives that they deal with. They end up blocking them from being as successful as they need to be, because of the way that these women carry their energy. They're in alignment, but they're in alignment with a destiny, but their alignment is crooked. I mean, straight lines can still be slanted. You know what I'm saying? So it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work for the men that they're dealing with. So the Ten of Cups follows, and then the card for the Hierophant. So this is saying that the women have to perform magic on these men in order to maintain in order to keep their family bloodline going. Okay, they have to use magical resources in order to ensure that they can not only remain partnered, but also so that they can keep having children as well. Okay, so the next card that follows, I get the Knight of Swords, followed by the Five of Coins, and then I get the Two of Swords. Okay, so the confession in these last rows of cards is speaking about these women being in a sort of spiritual poverty, where they are approaching these men. As you can see them here, they're approaching these men for the purpose so that these men can seduce them. But as you can see, these men are usually reluctant to deal with them for like truly romantic purposes. I get that typically these men involve themselves with these women because they end up enchanted, or they are sexed up and then enchanted by these women. The final card that I see here is the Two of Swords, and this is telling me that these women are not really, they pretend to be oblivious to what it is that they're doing, and they are quite aware of the powers that they possess. I also see that the women in the family have issues with fertility, so it's not uncommon for them to need assistance with assistance having children. So I'd also get that they do birth magic or magic for reproduction. Make sure that you all sign up, subscribe to Priestess Oshunfunke's channel. And if you're interested in booking a reading, just know that Peach Blossom has a reading for at least $40 on the channel. Book an Ancestral Life Path reading with us. I encourage that. And make sure that you are checking out the courses that are available on blackspectrumnetwork.com. Okay, so these next sets of cards here are speaking about these women using magic to keep relationships, keep these men in relationships, and to essentially, I don't see these women stealing their souls, but I do see that these women are performing magic that controls these men's minds. And I'm also saying here that these women put these men on spiritual paths. They get them to meditate. They get them to experiment with Christian Science. They introduce them to numerology. They and all of these things are sensitizing them to the occult. These men think that they're being educated, but they're actually just being made targets of their spell work, and they're not completely aware of it because they still remain skeptical. The main thing that I see here is that the women do believe in the law of attraction, and they use that principle to manifest the outcomes that they want with these particular men. All right, so we're gonna go to the next question. Did Caitlyn Jenner really want to be a trans woman? Make sure that you all are sharing this video with someone on your timeline. Hit the skull emoji if you've shared this video. Don't hold on to the good stuff for yourself. Don't keep the good stuff to yourself. Share it. All right. Did Caitlyn Jenner really wants to become a transgender woman? Okay, I get the card for temperance. So there definitely was some ambivalence there. You know, as you can see in the temperance card, she's dipping her toe in the water. So, you know, this was Caitlyn Jenner. I mean, there was some, you know, when Caitlyn Jenner was a cisgender man, I do get that there was some very shallow exploration of the Caitlyn Jenner identity, the Four of Cups, and then the King of Staffs. This is saying that Caitlyn Jenner, this was very instinct. I feel like this decision was made out of instinct. I don't feel like this was a response to things that she had been feeling her entire lifetime. Rather, I feel like this was something that she did out of instinct and after a few months worth of contemplation. What I'm saying here is that I get here that Caitlyn Jenner is already not, as a person, not completely stable. And so I see that she really wanted to make this transition happen for herself. And she did, but she's conflicted about it. And she's conflicted about it because of the amount of work that she has to put in to maintain this identity. I get that she hasn't apprenticed. I get that she's disadvantaged because she wasn't taught by her mother how to be a woman. And so there's some difficulty that she's experiencing simply just by being treated as a woman. I get the card for the Lovers, followed by the Queen of Cups, the Empress, the Two of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and then the World. Okay, so this is talking about Caitlyn Jenner's relationship with Kris Jenner. And so Caitlyn Jenner was always cheating on Kris Jenner, and Kris Jenner was always cheating on Caitlyn Jenner. And I feel like Caitlyn Jenner had, I don't know if this is, I don't know. I just feel like Caitlyn Jenner is I don't feel like Caitlyn Jenner has always just been attracted to him. I feel like she's been into, you know, trans women before, or trans men. I get it can really flip and flop with Caitlyn. But I don't think that her sexual orientation should have influence a change in her gender identity. According to these cards, like, they're just saying like this was a decision that was based out of instinct, and it was made rather impulsively. That there wasn't a lot of contemplation. She didn't contemplate before she made this decision. Okay, so we're gonna get off of that. We'll get off of Caitlyn Jenner. Now we want to know, did Kim Kardashian really get robbed in Paris? We want to know, did Kim Kardashian really get robbed in Paris? The Seven of Swords is here. The Ten of Cups. Seven of Coins. King of Swords, Ace of Coins. She was robbed. This wasn't a hoax. They took her money. They took a lot of money from her. I remember people were saying that they stole jewelry. So I'm assuming that the money that I'm saying is a jewelry. I don't know if they actually just took cash as well. But it was a male. It was a male. That I feel like it was a male that worked at the hotel. Or a male that was like connected to her camp of some sort. It was either a hotel or like the bodyguards or something. But the robbery, she was set up. I do feel like Kim knows the person who did it, but she doesn't know who did it. Like once that person's revealed to her, she's going to say, "Oh, that's Peter Griffin from Family Guy." I never would have guessed that he'd have done that to me, but I do know Peter Griffin from Family Guy. The robbery was real. She wasn't faking that. Because I see here that she was definitely shaken up by it. I feel like this was a moment. I feel like this is a very traumatic experience for her, and I also feel like she had nightmares about it, and she buries her feelings around it. I don't think she had anyone to help protect her. I don't feel like Kanye was around at the time to help her out, because the Hermit card shows up. And it looks like she needed Kanye to be with her. Like when it happened, it was like she just needed him right then and there. So from this, it definitely doesn't look like this was fake. It looks like this was real. All right. Now we're going to ask, has Kanye West cheated on Kim Kardashian? Make sure that you all hit the skull emoji and share this video on your timeline. Let me see those sunflowers, because we're going to have Priestess Oshun Funke coming up in just a second. Does Kanye cheat on Kim? From what it looks like Kanye West is too depressed to have sex sometimes. It looks like he's a very moody lover. It looks like Kanye either has an incredibly high sex drive and he directs his energy towards Kim Kardashian, or his sex drive can be incredibly low and he refrains from having sex at all. I don't really see in these cards that he has a tendency to step out on her. Maybe they invite people into their bedroom, maybe they don't, but for the most part, I don't see him wanting to do that. But I get that there's an emotional imbalance there, that he's very hormonal, and if he wants to have sex is going to be based out of whether he's happy in his life or not. It has nothing to do with Kim Kardashian. It just simply has to do with what he's feeling. At his age, at this time, sex is something that he feels like he can do without. He does feel like it's a powerful force that bonds him to his wife, but at the time of this reading, it feels like having sex is a burden, that they Kim Kardashian would like to have more sex with him, but I don't see him wanting to sleep with other people. Now, that's not to say that he hasn't cheated. It's just to say that at this time he doesn't cheat. He doesn't cheat at this time. All right, so, and we're going to close this reading out with one last really good question. one last question. Okay, now we want to know, what role does Kris Jenner play in all of this shit that I just asked about? Because, you know, we can't let Kris Jenner off the hook. Okay. Kris Jenner just came up as the Emperor card, y'all. She's the Emperor card. And in all of these cards here, she's the masculine energy in both of these cards, the Ten of Coins and the Two of Cups. They're both the same people. It's the same family, but she's the Emperor in all of these. It's pretty much saying that Kris Jenner is someone that she's a very strategic planner. She thinks she's a long range planner. She thinks ahead. And I get that Kris Jenner is she's a sort of strategist that she plants stories ahead of time and waits for people to step on them, and then it detonates. I also get that, you know, there's a lot of conflict around what she does, but this conflict is in her house of organization. So her life is organized around conflict. So I feel that it's a normative experience for her to defend herself against her family undermining her or trying to undermine her. I see that that's a repetitive issue. Now, the cards that follow, the Two of Cups and then the Ten of Coins, in the House of Hidden Advantages and the best path to take. So this is saying that her hidden advantage is actually her ability to, how do you say this? She has secrets that she holds on to. Her ability to nurture those secrets, to grow them, to spread them with the media, and to share them in the like she's in deep communion with the media. The Ten of Coins being here in the best path to take is talking about her family, meaning that she uses her family. She uses her family to make money. The Emperor card is saying that she controls them. She's pretty much the head. She's the HBIC. And so I wouldn't say that she's responsible for everything that goes on and everything that happens to them. But I do see her from the way that these cards are laid out. Let me just make sure from the Eight of Staffs. Clarify the Eight of Staffs for me. The Six of Staffs talking about seasonal changes. The Ten of Swords talking about treachery and betrayal. And the Eight of Swords is talking about situations that you can't get yourself out of. The Eight of Staffs is here talking about communication that is delivered through messages. So she communicates messages that are important for the moment that end up leaving people feeling betrayed or trapped. So hey, if you don't do it, they can't misconstrue it. If you don't say it, they can't replay it. But shit, it's gonna be fodder for Kris Jenner if she gotta make it fodder. All right. With that being said, I want to leave you all with these words of wisdom. Once you go black, you never go back. All right. So thank you all for tuning in to the reading produced by Black Spectrum Network. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell button to get the latest updates on this channel. You can purchase a private psychic reading by going to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com. If you want spiritual guidance to learn how to work with your ancestors, or you're interested in deepening your spiritual experiences, subscribe to our Patreon. You can get these and other videos at least 1 week ahead of their YouTube release date. That's patreon.com/Black Spectrum Network. Before I go, I leave you with these real words of wisdom from the rapper Dreezy. Gave mercy to these hoes. What would Jesus do? I'm your reader, Nexo, and remember, the truth is always collaborative. Thanks for watching.
So fuel my fire, take me higher, I'll be your liar too. Cause when we're here, there's nothing better than the skyline view. Ooh.